Imagine a life without whispers. A life where every word you say, every action you take is monitored and scrutinized. A life where your secrets aren't really yours, where privacy is a luxury you can never afford. That's what it's like for millions of people in North Korea, a country wrapped in secrecy and ruled with an iron fist. The regime's grip is unyielding and the fear is palpable. The Kim family has been in charge for over 70 years, and their control goes way beyond politics and money. It extends into the very fabric of society, shaping every aspect of life. It reaches into every part of people's lives. From the food they eat to the clothes they wear, nothing is left to chance. From picking a husband or wife to showing affection, the government dictates everything, leaving no room for freedom. Even love is controlled and manipulated. Even private moments are watched. The eyes of the state are always on you, ensuring compliance and loyalty. The government's spies are everywhere, making sure nobody steps out of line. They are the silent enforcers of the regime's harsh rules. If they do, the punishment is swift and often brutal. The consequences of dissent are severe, serving as a grim warning to others. Fear is everywhere, stopping anyone from speaking up or rebelling. It is a tool used to maintain control and suppress any thoughts of resistance. North Korea tries to show the world a picture of unity and success, but behind that propaganda is a much darker truth. The facade hides a reality of suffering and oppression. Stories from people who have escaped and other eyewitnesses paint a scary picture of oppression, where basic human rights are ignored and people are sacrificed for the state. Their testimonies reveal the harshness of life under the regime. This is the story of life inside North Korea, a country where love is a tool of the government, freedom is just a dream, and people struggle to survive under a powerful dictator. It is a tale of resilience and endurance in the face of unimaginable hardship. The Kipumjo, or pleasure squads, show the dark side of the North Korean government. These groups, apparently started by Kim Il-sung, are used for both pleasure and control among the powerful elite. Young women, sometimes just teenagers, are chosen for their looks and artistic skills. Their families, tempted by promises of a better life, often allow their daughters to be taken. Once chosen, these women are trained intensely, their lives turned into a performance for the elite. They learn to sing, dance, and be companions, doing whatever their powerful patrons want. Their lives are secret, their voices silenced by fear and the threat of punishment. The Kim regime says the pleasure squads don't exist, but people who have escaped and investigations tell a different, disturbing story. The stories of these women, often unheard and forgotten, remind us of the human cost of the regime's hunger for power. In North Korea, the only things on the radio and TV are messages from the government. These broadcasts are meticulously crafted to ensure that the citizens only hear what the regime wants them to hear. The dials are fixed, so people can't listen to anything else. This means that even if someone wanted to explore other viewpoints, they simply couldn't. Foreign media is completely banned. It's seen as a dangerous window to the outside world that could shatter the government's carefully crafted lies. The regime fears that exposure to outside information could lead to dissent and unrest. Having or sharing forbidden things like Hollywood movies or South Korean TV shows is severely punished. People caught with such media face harsh consequences. Even whispering about a banned movie or looking at a foreign news website can lead to prison, torture, or even death. The regime uses fear to maintain control. The government is always watching and listening. Surveillance is pervasive, ensuring that no one can speak out without being noticed. Their control over information goes beyond physical borders. The regime's reach extends to every aspect of life, ensuring that loyalty is maintained. Most North Koreans can't access the internet. The few who can are subject to strict monitoring and censorship. A select few, carefully chosen and watched, can use a heavily censored intranet, a fake version of the real internet. This intranet is designed to keep the population isolated from the outside world. This strict censorship is how the Kim regime stays in power. By controlling the narrative, they prevent any form of opposition from gaining traction. It shapes reality to fit their story and crushes any disagreement before it can start. The regime's grip on information is absolute, ensuring that their version of the truth is the only one that exists. In North Korea, love isn't private. The government controls it. Public displays of affection, even holding hands, are not allowed, seen as a possible threat. Instead of casual get-togethers, the government organizes events to promote loyalty. Marriage is often arranged by the state and is seen as a duty, a way to create loyal citizens. Divorce, while technically allowed, is looked down upon and can have serious consequences. Couples who divorce can be shunned, lose their jobs, and have trouble finding new partners. The government's control extends to very personal matters. Birth control is hard to get, and the government often decides when and how many children people can have. This is another example of the regime's total control over every part of life. Section 5. Silent screams, human rights abuses. Behind the image of national unity and socialist progress, a terrible reality exists in North Korea. The regime's many political prisons, called Kwanlee-so, are proof of the brutality inflicted on those seen as enemies of the state. Inside these camps, men, women and children suffer unimaginable horrors, their voices silenced by fear and isolation. Forced labor, starvation, torture and executions are common. Prisoners, often there for no real reason, are treated inhumanely, their spirits broken by constant cruelty. The outside world only gets glimpses of these horrors through the stories of survivors and human rights groups. The United Nations, in a 2014 report, condemned the regime's actions as crimes against humanity. But the Kim regime continues to deny access to investigators, hiding its crimes and continuing a culture of impunity. Section 6. Unequal ground gender disparity in North Korea. Despite claims of equality, women in North Korea face discrimination and are treated as less important. Traditional ideas about men being in charge still exist, limiting women's opportunities. Women are expected to focus on housework and raising children, their lives mostly confined to the home. While they're encouraged to work, they often have low-paying, difficult jobs with little chance to advance. The government's control over reproductive rights makes things worse. Birth control is hard to get, and women are often pressured to have many children, seen as their duty to the nation. This lack of control over their bodies traps many women in poverty and dependence. Section 7. Whispers of dissent, the underground economy. Hidden beneath North Korea's state-run economy, a secret market thrives. This underground economy is a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the North Korean people. Out of necessity, people trade goods and services to survive in a system that doesn't provide for them. Bartering has become a way of life, a means to secure essentials that the official economy fails to deliver. The Jangmadang, informal markets all over the country, are lifelines for many. These markets are not just places of commerce, but also hubs of social interaction and community support. There they can find food, clothes and smuggled foreign goods, avoiding the shortages of the official economy. These goods often come from China, smuggled across the border to meet the needs of the people. The government knows about the Jangmadang. Despite their illegal status, these markets are a crucial part of the economy. Though illegal, they are often tolerated because they provide relief for people struggling under economic mismanagement and sanctions. The authorities turn a blind eye, recognizing the necessity of these markets. The government's attempts to shut down these markets have been resisted, showing the growing gap between what the government says and what life is really like. This resistance is a form of silent protest against the regime's failures. This underground economy, powered by the resilience of the North Korean people, is a quiet but important challenge to the regime. It highlights the people's determination to survive against all odds. It shows the human spirit finding ways to survive, even thrive, in the face of hardship. The underground economy is a beacon of hope and a testament to the unyielding spirit of the North Korean people. Section 8. Erased identities, LGBTQ+ lives in North Korea. In North Korea, where everyone must conform, the LGBTQ+ community faces a very dangerous situation. The government denies that homosexuality exists, saying it's a Western problem. This creates fear and secrecy for LGBTQ+ individuals. They can't live openly and are forced to hide, living in shame and fear. Government propaganda portrays them as strange and dangerous, making things even worse. It's hard to know exactly how difficult life is for LGBTQ plus people in North Korea because information is scarce. But stories from people who have escaped paint a grim picture of discrimination, abuse, and forced conversion therapy. Section 9. The perilous flight to freedom. Hoping for a better life, thousands of North Koreans risk everything to escape the Kim regime. Their dangerous journey shows the human desire for freedom, even when facing incredible risks. The most common escape route is north, across the dangerous Tumen River into China. This journey, often made in the dark, is very risky. Border guards are always watching and will shoot anyone trying to cross illegally. Those who make it to China face new problems. With no legal status and constantly fearing being sent back, they live in hiding, vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. Many women are tricked by human traffickers, forced into marriage or exploitative labor. The journey to freedom is long and hard, full of obstacles and heartbreak. But despite the risks, people keep escaping, showing how much people want freedom and how oppressive the regime they leave behind truly is.